read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K. Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K. Williams is all about.
Carolyn Hills claims she ended a romantic relationship with her boss, who now refuses to pay back wages. Will Pruitt says his daughter's nanny was fully compensated with a Hawaiian vacation, and he owes nothing.
All right, let's see what we have here. I see Caroline Hills here as my plaintiff, Will Pruitt.
Yes.
All right, as my defendant. Ms. Hills, why are we in court today?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I am here suing my former employer of $1,600 for failing to pay me for my nannying services on a work trip.
Okay, let's get some details around this, Ms. Hills. How long was this your employer?
Sure. I was hired about a year ago.
Okay.
And I began in March. And he needed a nanny to take care of his daughter, who's 7 years old.
7, nice.
Yes, 7. And yeah, I was happy to help him. We were having a great time making arts and crafts and stuff. And then about later on, he needed to go to Hawaii for a work trip because he was going on all these conferences, and he needed someone to watch his daughter while he was at work.
So you were traveling with him?
Yes, I was traveling
Traveling
with him.
nanny, okay, customary.
Yes, and I have a contract
We're
laid
gonna
out
get to you in a minute, sir. I know you're just eager to talk. Give me 1 second. Go ahead.
In my contract, it states that anytime I'm traveling for work, I am owed $200 per day, and he failed to pay that and my overtime fees.
What's that for, Ms. Hills? $200 for what?
For traveling expenses.
For your traveling expenses?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Great. You were referencing a contract. Do you have said contract with you today?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Go ahead and hand that to my bailiff.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Here we go.
And you will also see, Your Honor, in the evidence file, there
Yes.
is a text message stating that I wasn't received the payment that I needed. Yes,
Okay.
there it is.
Okay, let's read this. Hey, I just got your Venmo for Hawaii. I was supposed to be paid $2,500 with overtime and my travel fees, but you only sent me $900. You say, yeah, I'm not paying you to go on vacation with me. Oh, okay, that's spicy. You say, Ms. Hill says, it might have been vacation for you, but for me it was a work trip. You need to pay me. It's in my contract. Oh, wait a minute now. Then he says, it wasn't a work trip. Do you sleep with all of your employers on work trips? I gave you your base rate, and that's all you're getting. Okay, Ms. Hills, I'm not even going to go any further with this evidence. I'm going to get to it. I need to hear from you.
Your Honor, this
Yeah.
is what Ms. Hill neglected to mention, that we
Okay.
were involved in a sexual relationship.
Okay. 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 Go ahead.
You might even say a
now,
boyfriend.
You're not married, are you?
No, I'm
Okay, you're a single
divorced.
man.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a 7-year-old, Sarah, and she's the light of my life. And
Yeah, I'm sure. She's adorable.
But she did neglect to say that we are in a sexual relationship for months, in fact.
I was going to ask, how long has this been going?
Yeah, that was for about 2 months. And
How long has she been your employee?
for 3 months prior to that.
Okay, so about 3. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Pruitt.
So I thought it would be nice if I invited her on the trip. I was going to be working most of the days, and I thought it would be fun for the plaintiff and my daughter to enjoy themselves in Hawaii.
And fun for you, right?
Definitely fun for
Okay,
me.
thank you. Go ahead, continue.
Going through a very stressful time at work, and
Okay.
the plaintiff was very reciprocating and keeping me happy.
Okay. Whew. The court needs a pause. Hold on. Okay, now you can continue, Mr. Pruitt.
I would buy the plaintiff gifts,
Okay.
special bracelets.
Was this your girlfriend, sir?
In my opinion, yes.
Are you seeing other women?
No, I was not, Your Honor.
Okay.
I had an incredibly busy job. I would go to work, very, very stressful. I would come home, and just put my daughter to bed and do it all over again the next day. So
Okay. How did you invite this woman to come to Hawaii? What was the context? Was she invited to come to work and take care of your 7-year-old daughter, Sarah, the love of your life? Or was she invited to be your generous reciprocator of special time?
Miss Hills understood that she would be working during the day. However, she would have the additional time off in the evenings.
But was she really off?
She was. I had another day.
Or was she on?
Well, I had another day, Your Honor, where I set her up for spa treatments, which I thought was very generous.
And did you pay for those?
And I paid for those, and I also upgraded our room. It was a one.
You said hour?
Yes, ma'am.
So y'all shared a room?
Yes.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
You are starting to make an argument, young lady, that this was coercive, that he was infringing upon your boundaries, and then the court has to look at this man almost as a predator.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a dispute between Carolyn Hills and her former boss, Will Pruitt, over wages she says he owes.
If you were not having a sexual relationship with Miss Hills and she was just there as your nanny, wouldn't she have had her own room that you would have also paid for because it was a work trip?
Yes, Your Honor. However, due to my work, there is times where I need the plaintiff to be taking care of my daughter Sarah, and so yes, she could have her own room, but we'd need to be in the same suite.
Okay. Let's get back to you, Miss Hills. Now go ahead. What were you trying to tell me earlier?
On this vacation that he labeled as a work trip, he was gone for conferences all day, and I was taking care of his daughter the entire time. And this entire trip was he labeled as a vacation for us and says I am his girlfriend.
So
when
he
in
told you
fact,
that? He communicated that to you?
No.
Oh.
Never once did he ever mention or bring up the fact of a relationship. I've always seen this as a fun, casual thing and ultimately a job. Now, you know...
Wait a minute now. Hold on now. Hold on. I just want to make sure you meant to say what you said.
Yes.
Now, I know you're talking about taking care of Sarah as a job. That's called nannying. But taking care of Mr. Pruitt, is that a job?
No, that was something on the side.
Okay, so that's not the job, and you don't expect to be paid for that.
No, that was a fun,
that's called
casual
something
thing,
else.
and
Okay.
I will admit it was a little unprofessional.
Of who?
Of both of us.
Great. Thank you for acknowledging that. Yes, ma'am.
We got ahead of ourselves one night, about 3 months into us working with each other, me seeing his daughter every single day and caring for her. He was super upset, very stressed from the day, and he started to bring himself to tears. And so I put my hand on his shoulder, and I just looked him in the eyes and I said, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Like, don't worry about it. And he took that as, all right, this is my opportunity to kiss her.
Your Honor.
And so this is my boss. He's in this position of power, kind of taking advantage of me, offers me wine and drinks. And so we end up sleeping together that night. And I want to keep my job, and so it continues to happen again and again. And honestly, I'm fine with it. It is consensual.
Well, I was going to say, because let me stop you, Ms. Hills, because you need to be very careful. As a young woman in today's society, we live in a Me Too era. Let's be very clear. So when we start kind of threading the needle around positions of power, boss, control, prying me with wine, you are starting to make an argument, young lady, that this was coercive, that he was infringing upon your boundaries, and then the court has to look at this man almost as a predator. This is what I need to know about this case, because you're saying that you want $1,600 more, which you're saying you are owed. Let me go through this evidence. I do see where you Venmo'd her $900, and you're saying this is complete payment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold on. Let's go through this contract. This is what we need to get to. This says, you, sir, employer, agree to pay her nanny for one child, Sarah, responsibilities, schedule, 9 to 6 p.m. That's the schedule you agreed to, sir. So anything outside of the hours of 9 to 6 constitutes overtime, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's go to overtime. $30 per hour for every hour worked outside of 9 to 6. You agreed to that, sir. Then it says that she shall have $200 a day in addition to the base rate and in addition to overtime for travel. So travel day expense. That's customary, okay? You signed it, you both agree that this contract is binding?
Yes, Your
Okay,
Honor.
great, the court will accept it. Now, these are previous payments, so you pay her consistently for her services. Why, Mr. Pruitt, did you think that this woman would not be owed money for services that included travel? Per her testimony today, she's taking care of your daughter well into the evening, certainly playing with her, and it sounds like y'all having family time. I don't know what we're calling it, but something like that. That would be outside of your agreed upon scope. So why are you not owing her the money?
Your Honor, two reasons. One of them is in the contract, it clearly states if Ms. Hills was dishonest. And she was several times.
Tell me, how?
I felt like I was in a full relationship, that this woman really cared about me, that I was
Did she
someone
tell you
special.
that?
In no uncertain terms.
Did she tell you that?
She did mention that she saw I was going through a lot of stress at work and that she was there for me. I took that to believe that we were in a full relationship, and I acted accordingly, Your Honor.
What does that mean? Massages?
I think massages were involved. I think
what are we
sending
talking
her
about?
flowers. I bought this dress that she's wearing.
Is that true, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor, that is true.
Okay, it's a nice dress. Okay, let me get to this, Ms. Hills. Were you seeing other men when you were seeing this man?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
What?
Is he, you today years old finding that out?
Your Honor, this is news to me.
Okay.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Ms. Hills, let me help you out, woman to woman. You know how we talked about you sliding down a slippery slope earlier in your framing of the consensual nature of this relationship?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're falling down another one around something that we call in the law prostitution.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a dispute between Carolyn Hills and her former boss, Will Pruitt, over wages she says he owes.
Why would this man think that y'all were in an exclusive committed relationship, in your estimation?
Your Honor, I believe Will has intense feelings for me, but he never explicitly stated that or asked me what the state of our relationship was.
Okay.
He just assumed that I was his girlfriend by inviting me onto this trip because he saw how much I cared for his daughter, which is my job.
Right.
This is purely a job for me, and it was a fun, unprofessional, I might say, casual fling, but ultimately, I need to pay my bills, and he failed to help me with that and failed to complete my contract.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna get you 1 minute.
Okay.
Ms. Hills, let me help you out, woman to woman. You know how we talked about you sliding down a slippery slope earlier in your framing of the consensual nature of this relationship?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're falling down another one around something that we call in the law prostitution. I just gotta talk to you plain. Now, I'm not saying that that is what you are engaging in, but when you frame it, I need to be paid for my services, which you admittedly are saying include sexual relations, casual sexual relations with a man, amongst other men you're sexually involved with, and you expect payment in response to that particular sexual engagement, ma'am, that's called the original profession. Are you familiar with that term?
Your Honor, I am. However, the contract is only outlining my services
Ma'am,
as a babysitter.
I'm very hooked on phonics, okay? I can read very well. I'm clear about the contract, which only encompasses your nannying.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
I am in full agreement that Ms. Hills needs to pay her bills, but I'm also cognizant that I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I would never treat a woman like, as you said, a prostitute.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with a dispute between Carolyn Hills and her former boss, Will Pruitt, over wages she says he owes.
To help you prevent this in the future is you need to bifurcate how you deal with your nannying services and what payment you expect as a result of that work. And you need to not talk about it in the same breath as you speak about your sexual engagement with men and a financial expectation as a result of it. Because, man, when you conflate those, you start to look like a prostitute, period. Now, I don't think that's what you want this court to believe. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. I do not want the court to believe that.
Right. So I'm telling you, woman to woman, you need to be very clear with your word choice, ma'am. Because if this was a different judge sitting up here today, one could be confused. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, great. So I think I might have heard enough. I'm going to let you make one final statement, and you, sir. Go ahead, ma'am. Anything else for the court to consider before I make my judgment?
I would like the court to know that I really cared about my job and cared about Sarah, Will's daughter.
Did you care about this man? Did you care about Will?
Yes, I did. But if it was explicitly stated to me, if we had a conversation about him wanting to go to a serious route with a relationship, I would have terminated my employment with him immediately, because that was never something that we discussed, never something that I wanted. I need to pay my bills.
I'm very clear that you need to pay your bills. Okay,
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Hills. Okay.
Thank you,
Your Honor, I am in full agreement that Ms. Hills needs to pay her bills, but I'm also cognizant that I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I would never treat a woman like, as you said, a prostitute.
Judge Eboni's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
Sir, nothing about this young lady today. I don't think anybody in this courtroom, including my bailiff, for one reasonable second believes that this woman gave you any indication that you were anything more than a few nights. And I hate if that hurts your feelings. I'm sure that it does, but you need to reel with yourself. You need to realize the reality that this was never your girlfriend. This was never somebody that owed you her time by virtue of a trip to Hawaii. Therefore, let's get to the business, why y'all are really here today. The court finds that you do owe this woman her rate for overtime. The court does find, the court does find that you owe this woman her rate for day travel expenses. The court finds, sir, that you might have even attempted to intentionally conflate the nature of the nannying with the girlfriend to reduce your expenditure and get 2 for 1. And this court will not allow it. Thus, I find in complete favor of the plaintiff. Sir, you owe her her full $1,600. That is my ruling.
All rise.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,600.
But I would like to call you.
You're such a man-child.
I think we can still work some things out.
Okay, as you've had your final day in court, please follow me. Ladies first.
Can I call you?
No.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.